house, and if you missed it, we're going to do the ninth and the 10th house because we need to do two and one in order to finish our 11 days on time. So the ninth house, Sagittarius, Jupiter, fire. This is, this is Jupiter. This is the house of Jupiter. So everything that we've already kind of brushed upon is here in this house, and it's going to get even bigger for anyone who has this placement. Now, we don't have anyone in our group that has this placement, but yesterday we did the eighth house, and I missed Elisa's chart, and she's actually doing eighth house Jupiter, right, in Aries there. So she's going to receive all those teachings. But as I was looking at her chart and deciding to do the ninth and the 10th, which is Jupiter and Sagittarius, or rather Jupiter and Saturn, Sagittarius and Capricorn, if you look down here, the majority of her planets are, or a lot of them, right, Sagittarius and Capricorn energy. So you can kind of see that cluster down there, which we're going to learn about what that, might mean. So here we are, right, on the chart. And again, we have moved to the heavens, and Sagittarius also is the sign of the archer, right? And you want to think of that arrow being pointed towards the center of the cosmos, right? Towards like the biggest potential and possibility. And those arrows are usually very direct. They're usually not indirect, but very direct shots towards something. And Jupiter being this planet of luck as well, right? There has that quality of like being able to hit that target. So let's see, let's move it forward. Jupiter in the ninth house. This house is a very good position for Jupiter. At this time, the perspective of your life can be expanded tremendously. You may have opportunities for extensive travel, for learning, and also for teaching others in either a formal or an informal setting. Your desire to learn, however, is very great, and you will probably do much more reading than usual about more abstract and profound subjects, right? Because Jupiter wants to expand the higher mind, the seeking mind. Philosophy, metaphysics, and religion are typical studies associated with this transit, and you will encounter these not only as books, but as real issues in your life. Your need is for real and useful knowledge about your world. This is a good time to become involved in a human potential effort or some other consciousness raising group. There are many such groups around now, and you should pick the one that seems most suitable for you. If you are a writer or have any desire to be one, this is an excellent time for it because the ninth house is the house of publishing and other communications media that would reach the world at large. As you are exposed to a broader world, your views on life will change. This transit is a very powerful, maturing influence in the most positive sense. In other words, you become wiser now than at any other time in your life. But you have to be fundamentally open to this process. If you think you know all the answers already, this transit may only make you smug or self-righteous, which would be a terrible waste of this energy. Along with the possibility of travel to foreign countries, there is also the likelihood that you will become increasingly involved with foreign persons or lands either in your business or in your personal life. So we're seeing that expansion of all those good things, and also how Jupiter can, right, if we're expanding so much, it can really lead to a sense of arrogance, and that's like the main risk with Jupiter and like working with any sort of Jupiterian energy, is that we become so confident and we become so uplifted that we can lean towards just being very arrogant. And it could be arrogant as in I'm better than anyone else, but it could also be the arrogance of like allowing yourself to not do the things that you know you should be doing, right? There's like a small little bit of arrogance of like, I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit, or I'm going to allow myself this, where it starts to go out of bounds, right? A little of that is okay in perspective, but when we're doing that too often, we're kind of giving ourselves a little too much permission. We go into that extreme space. And I find, because I do that, being a Jupiter person, that if I look at that as being arrogant, it trains me to want to be better in that way. Because who wants to be arrogant? Right? Let's see here. The main effect of this transit is to make your consciousness grow so much that you can no longer live with your old prejudices and beliefs. You must know rather than just believe. And the more you can replace belief with knowledge, the better off you will be, which is the main theme of all of our practices, to actually do them and to understand what they are so that we know what it is. We know what this technology is versus just thinking that we know because we did it a few years ago and we knew what it was like then. All right, let's move into this 10th house. Capricorn is the sign. Saturn is the planet and Earth is the element. And again, we don't have anyone in this group that has it in the 10th house. And you can see it up here, right? In this little sea goat Capricorn. So let's just go into it and see what he has to say. Jupiter in the 10th house. During this transit, your attention will turn toward your profession, career, social status, and reputation. It is a time when you will try very hard to move ahead in any or all of these areas, and any reasonable effort should result in considerable progress. For most people, this is a time of getting ahead, but you should observe several cautions. First of all, it is very important to avoid being overbearing, domineering, and arrogant. There we go. Some people have trouble with superiors at this time because this transit can indicate an inflated ego. That is, thinking you are much more than you are without anything to back it up. If you start thinking that you are truly significant or special, sit down and review your real accomplishments to see if they justify your feeling. But even if they do, be careful not to behave in a way that will cause others to resent you and even work against you when this transit is over. However, this is not a general problem, for most people have been taught to underrate their achievements. In that case, this transit is likely to signify recognition for what you have accomplished. You can expect a promotion at work, public recognition, or the esteem of your contemporaries during this time. As long as you don't fall into the trap described above, you will also feel more confident about yourself, and this may be one of the few times in your life when you are really in touch with what you can do. So Jupiter and Saturn, right? In a moment, we're gonna come into this one, but I have to say from personal experience, doing this meditation really broke something open in me around the balance of expansion and restriction, right? Because anywhere in our life where we want to expand, which is Jupiter, is expansion. That's what it's doing, is it's moving through the zodiac. It's really shining light on these certain themes that we're sort of given permission to really expand in our life. But then there's also somewhere where Saturn is at in the chart, which is asking us to restrict, right? It's asking us to get a little bit more disciplined. And this is just, it feels, when I say it, like such common sense, but to do this meditation, I feel like it brings it into like a whole other sort of cellular understanding, right? Of where in our lives are we being asked to really expand, and then where is that contraction coming in. So we're going to get into it. Go ahead and find a nice